We've got a massive week happening this week. I've just rocked up to the frame now. It's Monday morning. And the last few weeks have been quite quiet, waiting for steel to go in. There's been a few issues here and there. So now everything's ready to go for us. I've got a couple guys helping me today. Weather's good all week. So this whole week is going to be a huge push and we can finally get this job running. Alright, I'm just about to grab out all my tools and then we're just going to go straight back into the subfloor and finish off these beams today. So we're jumping straight back into where we left off in the last video. And that's just by putting up this last double beam in the stair void area. Now, if you haven't been following the series and you haven't seen that last video on the frame, one important thing that we did do was set up the laser level and found our highest point on the wall plates. From there, we've gone off that highest point and we've just got data measurements throughout this entire frame. So wherever we have to put a beam in or a posi, we know how much we have to pack that beam or posi up to make sure that this whole subfloor is perfectly level. Whenever we put up any double beams, I want to go through straight away and properly laminate both sides of them completely off. We've also received all of our right angle brackets and bolts that we need for the subfloor, so I do want to start going through and putting in all of these right angle brackets as we go. I've seen people go through and make this job so much harder than what it needs to be. Now the easiest way to do this, which I think a lot of people do it this way, is just quickly hold the right angle bracket in place, use a pencil or a marker to mark out all of your holes, and then you can easily see what all of your holes are, and it's not a struggle to go through and drill out all of the holes. Now, because we are creating a void and these beams are going to get plastered at the end of the job, we just have to make sure that when we put these bolts in for our right angle brackets, nothing's sticking out past the finished face of these beams. And what that means is we just have to go through and recess out some of this beam so that our bolt head won't be sticking out into the void. To do this, I'm just using a chisel in this instance. I'm marking out the size of the head of the bolt, and it doesn't have to be anything neat, it just has to make sure that the bolt is going to be in past the face of the beam. Using a chisel isn't the quickest and most efficient way to do this. Typically I'd be using a larger spade bit, but my 38mm spade bit, the only spade bit I have which is large enough to do this, has gone missing. So I'm just going to get it done and use the chisel instead of going to my car, fiddling around trying to find it, or even just wasting time by trying to get out another tool or router or something to get this done. If you have been following this series of this frame that we've been building, you probably do know that we've got two great voids where these 6-meter columns are that you can see in the distance. And for those voids, there are wind beams that we have to do almost the entire way around, and all of them are going to have bolts going into tags in the steel. So I think I'm going to leave most of those beams for tomorrow, and before I do that, I do want to go and get a new spade bit, just to make sure that we're a bit more efficient when we have to recess that many bolts. We just had WorkSafe rock up today, and the guy wasn't too bad, but there was one thing he pointed out, which I will get done, but I think it's so frustrating. And I don't know what the standards are elsewhere in the world, but every quarter device, every quarter tool, charger, power board, lead, everything needs to have a tag on it. And what a tag is you need a Sparky or someone that's done the test and tag license, just to test your lead or your cord and make sure that it's completely safe. Now that's fair enough. You got to get these done every 3 months. It does get a bit expensive, but I completely get the reasoning. I'm not going to argue against that. Now all my tools are good apart from this new AEG charger. The reason I haven't had it test and tagged is because I got all my tools test and tagged about 2 months ago, and I got this only about a month ago, or just over a month ago. So this WorkSafe guy was pretty understanding and said, fair enough, I can see it's a new tool, but he said I do need to go get it tagged ASAP. Now what I think is so stupid though is I can go to the tool shop, buy a brand new tool, an extension lead, a corded buzzer, anything that I need to use on site, and I'm not allowed to use it. You can't use those new tools until someone's come and test the cord, test the lead. When you buy a brand new tool, it should come with a complimentary test and tag that lasts about 3 months. You got hands? Yep. Nice. These bolts here, and for every single tag in this big room here, we're gonna have to do the same thing we do in stair voids and countersink the head in through there. Because this whole room here from that steel upwards, this is just a 6-meter straight wall going up. So your plaster's gonna be continuous. If that bolt head's sticking through, it's just gonna be a nightmare when we plaster it. Alright, so I'm doing these checkouts on this beam because it's going to sit in the C channel of a bit of steel. Now I've measured these two checkouts perfectly, so once it sits in the C channel, the beam's going to be at the perfect height. One extra step you have to do when you're attaching a beam into steel is just cut off the corners of your beam, which are going to be intersecting with the steel welds. The welds are always going to stick out a little bit in the corners of the steel, so that's why I'm taking off these corners of my beam. I don't know if this is meant to happen, but the steel tag actually ended up being in the center of my double beam. Now, since the tag will be enclosed by my double beam, I've first put one beam up. I'm just going to go through, drill my holes through it, so that once we put the second beam in and the tag is hidden, we can go through that first beam and drill our holes the entire way through. Now, obviously, another thing we have to do is check out the thickness of the tag into our second beam. So I'm just going to do some rough measurements on the size of this tag. It is 10 mil thick, so I'm just going to set my saw to 10 mil and run that across the beam multiple times. The closer the cuts are together, the easier it will be to go through with the chisel afterwards and clean it all up. I do want to make sure I do this quite well and clean off every single little bit of the beam, because if there was even just one small bit that I haven't cut back perfectly flush or chiseled back flush, that small bit's going to hit the steel tag first, and it's going to mean that my beam isn't hard to the steel. And once again, we're kind of making a habit of it now. Like almost every beam in this frame, there's going to be some bolts sticking out into a void. So we have to do that same thing and just check out that first beam so that the heads of the bolts do sit flush within that beam. And with this side of the beam bolted off, I'm going to have to jump onto the other side of the beam and put in a right angle bracket to attach these two beams together. And once again, do another check out for these bolt heads. While I was doing this right angle bracket, I realised there's two more that I could do from the beams that we put up last week Friday. We couldn't do them last week Friday because we didn't have the right angle brackets at that time. So I just quickly jumped over and chucked these two right angle brackets in now before we forget about them later.
I've just quickly run past City Tools to pick up a couple pieces that will help with tomorrow, help speed stuff up a little bit. I just quickly charged my camera up in the car. I didn't charge all the batteries up over the weekend, so it did die before we got to the end of the day. But when my camera died, we just went through, finished packing all the steel, did a few more beams, a few more right angle brackets. And talking about the right angle brackets, I think this spade bit especially is going to help out with tomorrow. It's a 38mm spade bit, which means I don't have to spend all that time chiseling around so that we can countersink the bolt heads. And there's going to be a lot of bolt heads we have to countersink tomorrow. There's so many of them. Didn't realize how long it's going to take. But I also did go out and buy another sharp chisel, just in case for some reason this spade bit doesn't work, it's not big enough, we've got to take off a little bit more. I've got a good set of chisels, and I'm going to keep that for all my finished work, my doors. I don't want to bring it out on the frame. So this will be my good framing chisel. I'm starting to get too many chisels, too many tools at the moment. But if I am using a chisel on a frame, it's only a matter of time before it starts to get dented, and it won't be as sharp as it is right now. So I want to keep my framing chisels and my finished chisels separate, so that's why I went out and bought another chisel.